Hello students, welcome to Software's classes. In today's session, we will be solving questions from the CAT 2018 question paper. We will be solving questions which came in the slot 2, which is the afternoon session of the CAT exam. So let us start off with the questions. And this session basically will be focusing on questions which came from the Quantitative Aptitude portion of the paper. So without wasting any much time, let us get into the questions. Okay, so we are starting off with question number 24. So as you can see over here, this question is basically a question on ratio and proportions, and it's very similar if you can see. So what has been given over here? So here it has been given that there are two drums, and each of these two drums contains a mixture of paints. There are two paints, the paint A and paint B. Now in the first drum, which is drum 1, the paint A and paint B are in the ratio of 18:7, while in the second drum there is a mixture, but that ratio has not been given. Now what has been done? Now the mixtures from these two drums, drum 1 and drum 2, are mixed in their ratio of 3:4. Now when they are mixed in the ratio of 3:4, then we get a final mixture, and that final mixture is in the ratio of 13:7. Okay, so now we need to find out the ratio of paint A and paint B in drum 2. The options have been given over here. We have to find out the correct option from the following. So let me insert a new page over here and then start off with the problem. Okay, so the question that was given was that in drum 1 we had A and B mixed in the ratio of 18:7. We don't know the ratio in which paint A and paint B are mixed in drum 2. Now what happens when the mixtures from these two drums are mixed in the ratio of 3:4? Then the final mixture that we are getting has paint A and paint B in the ratio of 13:7. And in that case, we need to find out the ratio of paint A and paint B in the drum 2. So what we'll try to do is that we'll take that, let us suppose that the ratio of paint A and paint B in the drum 2 is in the ratio of x:1. This is an assumption accordingly. So now, if we apply the process, so if we apply basically the process of alligation, so applying alligation, we get that from the final mixture, in the final mixture, the amount of paint A will be basically 13:20, and from that, if we minus the amount of paint A in drum 2, that will be x by x plus 1. Okay, this will be divided by the amount of paint in drum 1, which will be 18 plus 7 will be 25, so 18 by 25 minus the amount of paint A in the final mixture. So 13 by 7, it would have been 13 by 13 plus 7, which would have been 20. Okay, and this entire ratio is equal to 3:4. Okay, so upon solving this structure, we get that 13 by 20 minus x by x plus 1 will be equal to 3/4. And if you solve this structure, though this structure gives us the LCM will be 100, so 18 into 4 will be 72 minus 13 into 5, which will be 65. So we are ultimately getting 7/100. So this would have, this entire structure goes over here, so into 7/100, and this gives us 21/400, which is equal to 13 by 20 minus x by x plus 1. So now if we solve for x by x plus 1, this would be equal to 13 by 20 minus 21/400. Okay, so now let us solve this. So 400 will be the LCM below, and this will be 13 into 20. This would have been 260 minus 21, which is nothing, which is, if we calculate it, will be equal to 239/400, which is equal to x by x plus 1. Okay, so now this would give us that 400x is equal to 239x plus 239. So this will finally give us 400 minus 239x. This will be 161x is equal to 239, and this gives us that x will be equal to 239 by 161. So the ratio of paint A and paint B in drum 2 is basically equal to, which we have already given as x is to 1. This is basically equal to 239 by 161 is to 1, and which ultimately comes down to 239 is to 161. Okay, and if you check in the options, then this will be an option in the answer sheet. So this is the process in which you solve question number 24 in the question. Let's move on to the next question. So as you can see here, 239 by 161, which is option 2, is the correct option.